Good evening, distinguished Wizards fans. I'm Sully,
Raj.
and this is a very sad episode of the Bullets to Wizards podcast. If you are diehard Wizards fans like us, I'm sure you're aware of the recent news over the trade deadline. Daniel Gafford was traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Rashawn Holmes and a 2024 first-round pick. And I'm not gonna lie, when I read that notification, I was in the middle of class the other day. It kind of had me getting a little teary-eyed. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I love Gafford. He was my second favorite Wizard aside from Corey Kispert, but no one really expected him to leave, and that's why it was like super unexpected, super sad. I mean, we did get a first round pick from it, but it's like a super late first round pick. It's like 26th or something, 26th or 28th. But yeah, no, it's really sad. It's like how you felt it's like how you felt for Beal when he came back. I felt just for like Gafford when he left.
Well,
So
these are, Beal and Gafford are a little different. I was sentimental for Beal because he was a legitimate star leaving. This is more of like being sad that a fan favorite player is leaving. Like Gafford obviously never. He was always a top five on the racing team. He's been a top five player, but definitely not a top center. But man, all his dunks, he was fun to watch, and overall just a good guy in the community. All his silly Twitch streams and little community events he had. Remember, like he had his at like local like middle schools. He would host like his Gafford
his
like
gaff ball or something.
his like his Christmas
Yeah,
ball, and like yeah, just super cool guy. He's friends with you on Discord, so yeah. So I think he'll be a really good fit in Dallas. I mean, having Kyrie and Luca throwing lobs to him, I think he's gonna. I think being a backup center is just what he needed. I think being the starting center in DC was a bit much, but his career is gonna, I think, be for the better in a new situation.
100%.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have more thoughts on the Gafford trade and the Wizards being a little bit sleepy at the trade deadline after we hit the intro music and say hi to the Wizards cat.
The Dallas Mavericks are strengthening their front court while agreeing to a trade with Washington for Daniel Gafford. The Mavs will send Rashawn Holmes and a 2024 first round pick via Oklahoma City to the Wizards for Gafford. But what does this trade mean for the Wizards? Holmes was traded to the Mavs in the offseason after falling out of the rotation with the Sacramento Kings, where he also played with Marvin Bagley. The change of scenery didn't help Holmes as he's performing similar stats this season with 3.4 points per game and 3.4 rebounds per game. He has a player option for next season and will look to find minutes in the front court that includes Kyle Kuzma, Marvin Bagley, Tyus Jones, and Denny Avdia as the Wizards continue to rebuild their roster and gear up for the offseason.
Yeah, I think Rashawn Holmes is gonna find minutes pretty easily with how thin the front court is on this team. Even though he's having a down season, I think it's in part just because Jason Kidd, I feel like, never actually liked him and never gave him minutes. And Jason Kidd is really weird with minutes. Like Dwight Powell will always play every game, but then like there's so many other guys with their benches just rot. And I think Rashawn Holmes is one of those guys. And remember, Rashawn did show up to Dallas. He was basically a salary dump. The Kings gave the Mavericks a first round pick to take on Rashawn Holmes' contract, and yeah, he's definitely for guys averaging 3 points per game. His contract isn't pretty, and he's gonna accept that player option. No way he gets that kind of money again in his career, especially he's going to be on the wrong side of 30 years old next year. So, I mean, we're a bad team right now, so we're in the position to take on bad contracts like these, and it's just yeah, I do definitely get it from the tanking team standpoint. Like Gafford isn't he as valuable as he is as a good backup center or a fourth starting center on a bad team. As good of a teammate he is, like I totally getting a first round pick just for the future upside. It's just this team is not going to be as exciting to watch without Gafford, especially just the I like Bagley, but watching him and Rashawn Holmes is going to be a painful front court to watch on some nights.
And yeah, I agree. I mean, as if this team wasn't bad before, we just became even more bad. And with Gafford gone, we're missing another big man. And Marvin Bagley doesn't really play that big man role like Gafford does. Neither does Rashawn Holmes, I don't think. So we're definitely going to get punished by the Celtics tonight. I mean, Porzingis, Al Horford, they're just going to score at least 50 points on us tonight. And we're going to get even more destroyed.
Yeah, definitely. I use this example a lot to compare players, but I'm going to use it again. Rashawn Holmes at this point in his career is honestly a poor man's Daniel Gafford. So we basically just got an older, worse Gafford that's 5 years older and makes about the same amount of money as him. But yeah, tonight's gonna be brutal, and Rashawn Holmes isn't even available tonight because he's still flying out to join the team. So I don't even know who's starting at the five tonight. You think it's gonna be Gil, Amarui, Kuzma?
Really hope it's Amarui because what he did last game, I think he had a double double, and I'll be happy if the coach gives him more minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could see Brian Keefe. I think definitely warmed up to Amarui after last game, and yeah, definitely Amarui is not big, but he plays hard, so it's worth something. Kuzma, I guess, is technically longer, so I guess I'd start Kuz at the five, maybe Amarui at the four. But I don't know. Knowing this team too, with their weird love story with Anthony Gill, I could also see Anthony Gill starting at the five. But yeah, the poor get poorer with this trade, and the rich, aka the Dallas Mavericks, get richer with this trade, and that's the story of the trade deadline. Just the worst, yeah, the worst get worse, and the better teams get better. I mean, are you excited for that first round pick? It's a weak draft, so.
Yeah, no, this I was about to say this draft is super weak, and whoa, we got the least favorable pick from Oklahoma City, which is
It's gonna be in the 20s,
I
yeah.
think OKC, yeah, OKC was like the 28th, and then something else. It's gonna be like the 25th, 26th pick. So maybe if Dawkins can somehow get like some, if he can hit on this pick, sure, okay, we got our value back for Gafford. But if he doesn't, we got robbed.
Yeah, and I remember I was reading like a little report that like Will Dawkins briefly said that he was confident in getting this first round pick 'cause he believes in this year's draft the 10th pick is just as valuable as like the 25th pick just because of how like top heavy the draft is that everyone else from out there from then on is just you have to be really good at scouting. And I guess because Dawkins was an assistant GM for a long time and a big part of being an assistant GM is the amount of scouting that you do. So I hope that his confidence in himself works out here because honestly if we end up drafting someone that averages 4 points per game, I don't think giving up Gafford was worth it. So, but I mean, only time will tell with this whole rebuild. And yeah, I mean, definitely also, I can tell a lot of the fan base on like Twitter and Reddit has also lost their little faith in Dawkins and Winger after I think it's a little premature after half a season, but I don't know. Do you still believe in the process, the Wizards version of the process?
Well, it's not like I've lost hope that Gafford's gone. We still got a first round pick, and judging by how the rookies last year are playing, like there's GG Jackson, what, like 40 something pick. He's playing really well for Memphis. So it's not like I lost hope. It doesn't mean like the top 10 rookies are the best rookies in the draft lottery, but if if Dawkins scouted really well, if we get some random talent in the 20s, then sure, I haven't lost hope at all.
9-41. This team's already very painful to watch on some nights, man. This is gonna. It's. I think the goal right now, 15 wins, is. Well, honestly, after this trade, that's what we're aiming for. I remember beginning of the season, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a 25 win team. It'll suck on some nights, but no, no, no. 25 wins is way overblown. This is a 15 win team, but yeah,
And we're on track to become like the actual worst team because the Pistons, they've won 2 games in a row now, which means they're 1 game away from, or no, 2 games away from passing us. So once they
yeah,
do that, we're officially the worst team in the league, guys.
yeah, and like the
Number one
Hornets.
pick.
I mean, the Hornets and Spurs are right there with us in the basement, but yeah, the Pistons are dangerously close to overtaking us. But at the same time, it doesn't matter also that because the top three picks are the same odds of the first overall pick. So for pride's sake, I hope that there's some fight in this team in the second half. But it's all the same guys on the roster for the second half. So I don't know if it's going to be a new fight. Um, I mean, part of also why the fan base has been a little upset with this trade deadline is just the lack of activity. Tyus Jones, DeLon Wright, Andrew Shamet, these are all older guys. They're still on the team, and they're all definitely well, maybe not Shamet, but definitely Tyus would have at least gotten something back, and he's still on the team, and we better pray that we re-sign him, or else we gave up Porzingis for nothing. Like,
Yeah, and I'm happy you brought that up because I have something to say about this deadline. So I thought it would be exciting. I mean, we're a rebuilding team. The trade deadline is always a big thing for rebuilding teams. But then, I woke up that day. I expected, ooh, 3, 4 big trades are going to happen. Kuz is going to go. Tyus is going to go. Shamit might go. DeLon might go. Okay, whatever. At 3 p.m., we made one trade. And that one trade was the most least expected trade anyone could have thought of. Daniel Gafford was gone.
I mean, it was in the
And I
rumor
look at the
mill.
roster. I'm like, yeah, but it was mainly Kuz and Tyus.
Yeah, it was not the
Those
focal
two big
point. Yeah.
guys. So, I mean, we traded players with value in the past and got nothing comparable in return. For example, Porzingis, Beal,
Okay,
and now Gafford.
Hey, why are you hating on Tyus? I was just trying to praise Tyus that we could have gotten value from him. Now you're hating
Yeah,
that
but
I think he was
come on.
for a Porzingis that could have maybe resigned, maybe left. I mean, getting Tyus is an okay return, I guess.
Well, I
But
mean, I'm gonna bring up Detroit. Detroit traded Monte Morris for like a decent haul for them. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I know that he doesn't even start on the team. So if Detroit can do it, we can do it too.
well, the Pistons had the weirdest point guard rotation this year. They had Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, then Monte showed up. So that's a really weird point guard rotation. But I mean, at the very least, we'll get Tyus' steady 6 assists per game and nice one turnover per game, which is his beautiful assist to turnover ratio will still be on this team. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I know like the rumor. No, apparently no one was willing to give up a first round pick for him, and I get standing firm and being a good like trade negotiator for like Will Dawkins and Michael Winger. But I don't know. At the same time, like what if we end up drafting Isaiah Collier in the first round of this draft, or just what if he just walks for nothing? It's just that part scares me. Like I think 4 second round picks is better than the chance of nothing, and it's like the same reason why Gafford got traded. It's just like. Do you see Gafford being a big player on this team when Bilal gets good in 5 years? Not really. Do I see Tyus being a big player on this
No,
team in 5 years? No. So I don't know.
no. Yeah, and Gafford was the guy doing like all the heavy lifting, especially on the defensive end for us with his like rim protection, averaging 2, 3 blocks
Yeah,
per
around that. Yeah.
game.
That,
And okay, we got a first round pick. If we got seconds, I would be even more upset. But we got
yeah.
a first round pick, which is what we needed, in a pretty weak draft class. But like I said before, you can never tell with the rookies. So if we hit on it, good, really good.
But yeah, I remember when Woj first tweeted the trade, and it says draft picks to be named later, and I was so scared it was gonna be a haul of seconds. So yeah, definitely a little bit happy to see that we got our first out of it. But there's just so many like veterans on this team that are still gonna be taking up minutes from the young players after the trade deadline. Like as I mentioned before, like fine, Tyus is a good player. That's whatever. Even though he should be gone, okay, at least he's technically good. But then like Shamit and DeLon, I think Shamit got like no offers this trade deadline because he is still under contract for 2 more years, and he does make around 12, 13 million. So I get why he's not an attractive trade piece. But DeLon, I mean DeLon, it's cheap enough, and while this year hasn't been his best, he still provides defensive value. And apparently there were offers for like really late second round picks, and I think just getting as much as I loved Jalon last year, just getting anything of value for him would have been beneficial, even if it was just a bad second round pick. And then also just like opening up minutes, like for Bilal, for Johnny Davis, maybe even for like a Jules Bernard, just to give those guys minutes for the second. That's We're 9 and 41, like giving guys under 25. That's what it's all about. And Jalon's over 30 at this point, so like, I just how did we get so much for Gallinari and Muscala, and then like Delon and all these guys? We just got nothing out of it. Like, it's definitely confusing from the average fan's perspective.
And okay, yeah, we're talking about DeLon and all of these guys, but we never mentioned Kuzma. Kuzma was the main guy. I thought Dallas was going to take him, and then when I saw that they were taking Gafford instead, I was super confused. And for Kuzma, I mean, I do understand not moving him because he has 3 more years after this year. And again, our asking price was 2 first round picks for him, and it's a bit hefty. And also, I understand not moving to Lon or Shamit because I mean it's hard to like materialize something out of them. Um, but keeping Tyus Jones,
Keeping Tyus is
keeping
that's the
Tyus
worst out of this.
Jones,
Like Kuzma, like I said, yeah, I totally agree with you. Keeping Kuzma, I
like
get it. He still
it
doesn't want to
makes
trade
no
for.
sense.
Yeah, keeping Tyus makes sense, but keeping Kuzma, I get because he's still under contract for a long time. He's still gonna have trade value. Like unless God forbid he tears an ACL, Kuzma will have value, and he's gonna be a 20 point per game scorer as long as he's on this team. So he'll have trade value. And yeah, apparently I think Dallas was just not willing to budge on that one first round pick. Apparently I've been reading a lot of reports like coming out today that Dallas was really, really, really close to getting Kuzma, but Will Dawkins held firm. But I guess somehow during those phone calls they're like I guess the Mavericks GM Nico Harrison, yeah, I guess he was just like, give me Daniel Gafford, and that's what happened. But yeah, I think the Kings also backed out really early just because they were happy with Harrison Barnes and Kevin Herter, which I kind of get, like keep the stability going. But yeah, Tyus Jones. The whole point,
Uh,
as soon as we
keeping
picked him up, we're
time.
like, I can't wait to see what we get from him at the trade deadline, and it's nothing, nada.
Yeah, keeping him makes no sense. I don't get it. I mean, unless he resigns a long-term deal with us in the offseason, I don't know. I don't know why he's here. I mean, I can't picture that happening, but it's still an if. It's possible. Um, he's gonna walk for nothing then, and
Well,
they
the
turned down 4 second-round picks for him.
well the
So it's either. I mean, now he's walking for nothing.
Well, the main thing that we can offer Tyus in free agency is a starting job. No other team is really going to give him the starting point guard job. So if he really values being a starter, he might return. And apparently, he sounds so much like Porzingis when he says this, but which is ironic because he was traded for Porzingis. But apparently, in interviews, he says like he likes DC and raising his family here and all that. And that he's like, I remember in one interview, he's like, yeah, I don't mind like waiting to see what this team builds in its future and whatever. But I mean, talk is talk also. Like, so much can happen in the next few months. I don't know. I still have hope, and like, I am numb to the pain. This has just been a painful season. I am numb to the pain, but I do also, a small part of me also does still want to rip my hair out just after this trade deadline.
And if Tyus Jones does walk this offseason, the Wizards' updated return for Porzingis would be Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Livers, and a 2026 second round pick and a 2027 second round pick, which isn't great for, I mean, how great of a player Porzingis is. If he doesn't get injured, at least I think he's a really good guy. I mean, he could shoot threes as a center. He could get some he can get some like layups down. He can block shots. He's just really well rounded. And it's not like I don't I like Tyus. But this whole time it may sound like I am hating on him. I really like Tyus. I do like him. He's a valuable backup point guard on a good team, but that's the issue here. We're a bottom 3 team, and I'd rather see young guys play versus keeping like a 28-year-old undersized backup point guard. So
All right, just for the sake, I know it's a Wizards podcast. There's a lot of negativity here, which is natural for this kind of team. But for the sake of positivity, let's have some little fun here. I'm gonna throw some silly questions here for how bad this team's gonna be. All right, for let's say for tonight, you mentioned Porzingis right now. Over under 15 rebounds for him tonight.
over. Easy.
You think he's gonna have a 20 rebound
Easy.
game against Kuzma?
I never said 20, but over 15. Maybe you get 16, 17.
Okay. Um, Watch Tyus have like a week. See, Tyus every week has like one weird 4 point game. I don't understand why he just disappears like once a week. I swear
Yeah, I noticed that.
he's gonna have one of those nights tonight. But let's see. I'm trying Al Horford. He's older, but on a night like tonight, over under 20 points.
Under.
Okay, just because he probably will be lazy and won't care. It's
I mean,
weird
he's not much of a scorer, anyways. Like when they got Tatum and Jalen Brown, Derek White,
at this point.
Drew Holiday on their team.
At
Yeah,
this point in his career, yeah. This game, yeah, this episode will come out before tonight's game against Celtics. It's gonna be a painful watch and I'm not ready for the extra negativity when we do the recap for that game. I guess we can briefly talk about Gafford's last game, the loss to the Cavs. A few days ago, it was a 106 to 114 loss. Kuzma did drop 28 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. So definitely nice to see Kuzma. I don't know, maybe he was balling out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to Dallas or something. But he definitely had a nice little game there. Your boy Corey, 23 points.
Oh, let's go. He's
As,
improving, guys.
as he's becoming more and more of the cut master. And then, this pains me to say, but Dan Gafford in his final Wizards game, 14 and 13. Bro put up a nice stat line. Bro didn't even realize it, but bro boosted his trade value in his last Wizards game. I don't even think he realized it was his last Wizards game. Because did you read his farewell Instagram post?
I did, yeah. He
Yeah,
said he didn't expect it to happen.
yeah, and like the way he worded it sounded like obviously the NBA has a lot of movement, but like it sounded like he wouldn't have minded being a Wizard for life if there was some like dream scenario where that happened. I think we need
And
to
then
give
when he said landlord out,
land
my
like
heart.
we give him that. Like he was not the landlord in Chicago. He became the landlord in DC.
Exactly.
He has developed a lot over his time with the Wizards. Like, he had I remember he had a lot of like stamina issues, and he wasn't that strong either when he first arrived here. He was always a dunker, but he's definitely added some weight. And while he still gets into foul trouble, he still gets outmatched by some centers. Like he's definitely put in the effort to get better. And yeah, definitely think let's give Gafford a few more flowers for this episode. Like all his highlights and lowlights. What's your favorite Gafford highlight?
The lob from Corey Kispert to Daniel Gafford versus the Los Angeles Lakers, where he dunked on Anthony Davis. I would never forget that. That dunk is always in the back of my head somewhere.
I know,
That
like I
was
think
actually insane. He reached back so far, and he just, I don't know. It's a crazy dunk.
I know, like just I like how Corey admitted, like, bro, that was just a bad pass, and he somehow caught that.
It was a pretty bad lob.
But yeah, I'm gonna miss. Like, I remember going to Capital One Arena, like seeing a Gafford dunk in person. It's like the rim shakes so much. It is awesome to see.
Yeah, and then they like play some like crazy graphic on the
It's the
big
gaff,
screen. It's
the
like the
gaff,
glass
the
breaking
glass. They put a glass breaking sound effect too.
and the gaff slam.
Hey, okay,
So yeah, I'll definitely miss that.
this is so random, but like I don't understand why this team gives like okay, Gafford deserved it, but like this team has the most random sound effects. Like okay, Gafford has like the glass smashing for his dunks. Okay, cool. But then like have you noticed DeLon, right, when he scores they play the sound effect, it's like I know that's right from that like I forget what song it is, but
I know that's right.
yeah,
You like
yeah.
that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember
Like
that.
I don't know why DeLon has a as a sound effect. I remember when Montrezl Harrell was on this team, they used to play like a lion sound effect every time he dunked, and like, why does Montrezl Harrell have a sound effect? Denny has the racing noises when he
The
goes turbo.
turbo.
Like, but then like Kuzma has no sound effect. It's like I don't understand their
I mean,
reasoning.
the whole stadium like lights up under his name whenever he scores. Like all all the screens turn red and it just has like
Cool. Yeah,
Kuzma.
yeah.
Exactly.
It
So
just says
that's like
Kuz.
his little yeah.
Pull is nothing.
That's true. Pool does have nothing. No pool party or whatever. They should just like play his theme song or something.
The whole like, honey, I see you.
I
Yeah,
see you
that's all.
looking. Yeah,
You
that'd be
posted an
funny.
yeah. By the way, shameless plug for the Bullets to Wizards TikTok. You posted an edit with that song, right? Are you going to?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
you have, right?
I have.
Yeah. So check it out. We do like little shorts on the TikTok, of just quick game recaps because we don't do a recap episode for every game. So most games, Raj does a little recap for the highlights and lowlights, and then also some funny skits here and there, some funny edits too. So shameless plug. But yeah. Speaking of lowlights, maybe part of the Gafford's charm was some of his lowlights. If you want to go over that too, I mean,
If you watch Wizards games, if you know Daniel Gafford, you know that KD is his worst enemy, and then you've definitely seen that clip of him getting crossed up by KD, and then where he's just like fully laying on the ground, kissing the floor. Oh boy! Then KD dunked on him recently when he was
the,
on the Suns. Now, oh
I legitimately
man.
think there's like 15 to 20 players in this league that posterize Gafford.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah, Gafford is in so many clips.
you can make a roster of the amount of players that have dunked on Gafford, but I appreciate that he goes up. A lot of players, you notice that like they just move to the side when a player's charging at them like a monster dunk, but Gafford's like, I'm gonna try to block it. And that's why he averages like over 2 blocks per game. Like I can appreciate that. He's willing to like become a low light for the chance at a block. So in that sense I can appreciate it. And yeah, going back to his personality, a little bit of a goofy guy, a little bit of like a 6'11", I guess, gamer with his Twitch streams, but and then also like just every social media post I saw the Wizards post of Gafford was kind of funny. Do you remember like he made like a anime basketball starting five, and he was like in all like the Wizards like going out to dinner videos and like all that kind of stuff. Do you not remember the anime starting five?
I don't remember the anime starting five.
I remember he said like Goku was at the point guard, and then I'm not a big enough anime person to remember the rest of the people. I think Vegeta was there. I think he put himself at center or something in his anime starting five. But
But judging from that, you can tell Gafford was definitely like he wasn't too serious about basketball. I could tell that he's just in it for fun, you know.
he put in
I
the
mean,
effort, but he
okay,
definitely
he signed
vowed
his contract, he got his money, and then he's just there to ball out.
he
I
put
don't
in
think he
his
cares that much if he wins or not, but he
he
probably
put
does a little bit. But
yeah he put in the effort he definitely put. I'm not gonna say he didn't put in effort. Like I said, there was noticeable improvement in his time in DC, but he definitely valued his personal life a lot. And I don't know. We'll see. Right now, the Mavericks have Jason Kidd. He's a little bit of a notorious hothead, so I hope that Gafford gets on Jason Kidd's good side quickly. And I think Luka will warm up to him quickly. Like the Mavericks are kind of serious, but they can also be kind of goofy sometimes too. So I think, like I said, even personality wise, I think he'll fit in Dallas. I mean, he's not like Boban goofy, but I think there could be some silly Gafford and Luca clips. You had a really big smile when I said Boban right there.
I don't know. I just thought about Boban. I just
Still,
haven't heard his name in a while.
still in Houston, I think. Yeah, he's still in Houston. Yeah,
He's in Houston.
but yeah, at the very least, I think I salute Gafford for the his time in DC. I think he was the second longest tenured Wizard at this point, besides Denny. Yeah, he's been on this roster the second longest because he showed
He's
up.
been here for a while.
Yeah, I remember he was traded here Denny's rookie year at the trade deadline, and he's been here since. So I think yeah, he's the second longest Wizard right now. So salute to him for his years of service in DC. Yeah, it's cool to see he had a good last game against the Cavs, and honestly, that last game against the Cavs, it was a good game for Gafford. But honestly, this team played really well for 3.5 quarters. It was just like the last
It
half of
was a
that,
super close game. It's just the effort was gone. Poole scored no points.
and then
And
the
yeah,
boos for Poole were super loud.
the
Like,
boot when he came back. Oh my god, that was crazy.
when you got the
Yeah,
Wizards
no.
fan base booing you, you know you suck.
Oh, that's like an all-time low. Like, I'm sorry, Poole. I don't know what happened to you. Oh, just gotta come back, dude. I mean,
Like he's not
he
even.
fouled out, he went scoreless, and he received boos from the crowd. I
And
don't know what to tell you. Can you get worse than that?
yeah, and like it's like I don't even think to like at this point, even if I like just to bring up the whole like Jordan Poole baddies meme, if you brought up the baddies to the DC games and played his theme song, I don't think Jordan Poole I think he's a bit far gone at this point. I don't know. Every episode, I feel like we criticize Poole. It used to be every episode we criticize West. Now every episode we criticize Poole. But uh,
If Poole scored in that game at least 20 points, I think we would have won.
100%. Even if he scored like
100%.
13 points, I think we would have won that game.
We would have beat the Cavs.
Uh,
Uh,
look
should
at
have
the
kept Chris Paul.
should have kept CP3.
Should have.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Tonight's gonna be a painful game against the Celtics. I'm jumping ahead a bit, but we do play the Mavericks on Monday, so not too far in the future. We do get to see Gafford play against us for the first time, and I know he's not going to be starting. Dirk Lively, I think, will still be the starting center for the Mavs, but Gafford will be the backup. But I mean, we've been competitive against the Mavericks recently, but DC, I don't know. What do you think
With Gafford gone, I don't know, man.
Gafford gone and Gafford against? What do you think Gafford will do against us?
Gafford. Oh man,
What do you predict from What do you
Gafford.
predict from Rashawn Holmes versus Daniel Gafford in that game?
Daniel Gafford would eat up Rashawn Holmes. That's what I predict.
Over under Gafford 15 points for that game.
Well, as a backup now, I'm gonna say under 15 points.
Yeah, but even if they give him like 20 minutes, I could see him getting like 18 points at 20 minutes or something.
Well, I mean, he didn't even score 15 when he started versus the Cavs. He had 14. That's
Okay,
pretty
40,
close though.
you're picking straws here, so he only got 14. I think the last week or
I
two,
don't think he'll get 15.
Gafford's been a little more consistent, like in terms of like his like low post scoring and all that. So I don't know. I feel like he's a candidate to make us look silly next Monday.
Maybe this is all part of his plan. Start playing a bit better, raise his trade value, and then get traded, and then bam, get his
Gafford's
revenge. This is
Gafford
all part of his plan.
Gafford he secretly acted silly just as like a plan to get out of DC, and how he's going to become like the
He
ultimate
secretly hates us.
workaholic. Bro, I don't look at the last few years. Why don't we keep making deals with the Mavericks and Lakers? Every trade we do is either with the Mavs or Lakers. Like, I mean, the Porzingis trade, I guess, the only other trade, but just I feel like we've always been in rumors of them. Like, I remember the Mavericks were rumored to get Beal not that long ago, like 2 3 years ago. They wanted Beal, and then obviously we got Porzingis from them. And it's like there's rumors they wanted Denny, and now they got Gafford. So I feel like the Mavericks and Wizards are always in trade rumors together. And I mean, even the Lakers could have been a landing spot for Tyus. Like, honestly, give me Gabe Vincent and 2 second round picks. It's better than nothing, I guess. Even though Gabe Vincent kind of sucks this year, but it's something. And like, I was ready for like the 5,000th Wizard, the yearly Wizards to Lakers trade. I mean, in the past, last year we had Ruby for Kendrick, none better. I don't know how is none doing in Greece right now.
I forgot about Kendrick. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, hope he's having
And
fun in Greece. But then yeah, even the year before that, there was or 1 or 2 years before that, we had the infamous Westbrook Kuzma trade and all that. Before that, we picked up Mo Wagner from them.
these Tommy Shepard trades,
We
man.
picked up Mo Wagner. We picked
Oof.
up like to be fair, the Mo Wagner and Thomas Bryant trades were actually pretty good. Those were one of Tommy Shepard's best moments. But yeah, the later on like we got fleeced, and even though Hachimura's kind of fallen off, Hachimura for
Would you
none.
say that this Gafford trade is a Tommy Shepard type trade?
No, it's different. It's different in the
Agreed.
fact that Tommy Shepard would have tried trading Gafford for like who's an older weird. He would try to do like Gafford for Clint Capella on the Hawks, but then he would have given the Hawks a pick to get Clint Capella. That's a Tommy Shepard move. This is a Will Dawkins move because we did try to get draft capital. So definitely the Will Dawkins era is still defined by that OKC mindset of getting picks, but definitely Dawkins has asserted himself. Like he's very firm on his trade value. He's not going to budge. If you don't give him what he wants, he set a price for Tyus, first round pick. Nobody gave it. Tyus is still here. Kuzma's price, 2 first round picks. Nobody gave it. He's still here. So I appreciate that he's a strong negotiator, but that's a little bit scary. His team building
At
style.
what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost?
Oh, well,
This could still be part of a big plan.
in
Who knows?
six,
We
in
have
like,
a couple of years.
or even 6 7 months of the off season, I think we'll get a pretty good idea if his aggressiveness is worth it or not.
Yeah, we just gotta wait until the off season to see what we'll do with Tyus. I'm really curious to see what we would do with Tyus, man.
Yeah,
He's like a little project we're working on here.
it's not a project. The project is
Well, not a
res-
project. The project's like the law, but a little like
the,
what are we gonna
the,
do with Tyus now?
the Tyus plan is resign him at this point. That's all I see for him. Resign him, or this makes no sense. But yeah, I think I really thought we would have more going on this trade deadline for the Wizards to talk about, but I was ready to have like an hour-long episode with like, oh my God, everyone's like you said, oh my God, everybody's gone. But no, this is really the same team, just no Gafford.
And to be honest, the most frustrating part about this deadline is that Bilal will likely continue to come off the bench this season because like the
Oh.
veterans will continue to take their minutes, like Shamit.
Even though Shamet doesn't stay, like Shamet's gonna take bench minutes from below. Johnny Davis ain't seeing the court rest this year, man. Johnny
Oh no,
Davis.
he's done for. Goodbye, Johnny Davis.
You know what? I'm a Jules Bernard supporter. I'm upset Jules Bernard ain't gonna get playing time this year. I think Jules Bernard, if we unlocked him with 20 minutes per game, I think Jules Bernard would have shocked you. I think Jules Bernard could be almost as good as Corey Kispert with enough development. I'm gonna say Jules Bernard's my guy. I'm gonna keep saying that until he's like cut from this team in a year, probably. Jules Bernard's my guy. I think. I know you're chuckling to yourself that I compare Jules Bernard to Corey, but I'm like 80% serious here. Well, maybe like 50. I'm like 55% serious when I say this. But we'll never get to see unlocked to Jules Bernard.
Only dude I said who Jules Bernard is my guy. Wow. So I
Sure,
just sometimes I keep forgetting he's on the team. Like all these just random guys, Jules
the,
Bernard,
the
Jared
two
Butler,
the two-way players. Wait,
all
where's
those like
Jared?
10-day contracts. I don't
The
know.
two-way con. Well, they're on a two-way, but yeah. So where's Jared Butler been?
I don't know.
I think they're just keep
I think he's is he back on the G League or
yeah, they've just been keeping him in G League jail.
I mean I saw a picture of him boarding the flight to Boston today. So
Oh no,
maybe
he's
some
gonna.
Jules Bernard minutes tonight.
That's good. That's good. My God, bro, he's gonna pop off. I don't know if he's gonna be on the roster next year, but he's gonna pop off for like 17 points one game, and I'm gonna absolutely freak out when that happens. Absolutely.
And I freak out with when Corey scores 20.
You know what else I'd freak out about? Bring back Jordan Goodwin. He's a free agent right now. If we signed him, I would
Jordan
freak.
Goodwin, Gallo is also a free agent.
I don't want Gallinari back. I don't
We
want him.
don't want we don't want Gallo.
Do you want him back?
Sure, why not? Gallo was cool.
He was
Muscala,
slow.
no. I don't want Muscala. I like Gallo. Gallo's funny. Funny guy.
There's low-key a lot of guys that got cut at the trade deadline that are really interesting. Like, obviously Goodwin got cut.
Dinwiddie.
I don't like to. I don't.
Forbidden word.
Killian Hayes. Okay, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, we're not signing Killian Hayes.
Actually, I don't know. He's young. I could see the team. Would you take on the Killian Hayes project?
No. What did he
Killian,
do for Detroit? He got his minutes. He got his opportunities.
there was like the joke in Detroit that like Monty Williams wanted Killian Hayes to like marry his daughter, and that's why Killian Hayes kept getting to start. But honestly, Killian Hayes is a French Johnny Davis, in my opinion.
French Donnie. Wait, he's French? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's why there's rumors that he
I
might go to the
didn't know
Spurs.
that.
He might go to the Spurs, like the whole French connection with Wemby.
Or he should come to the Wizards with the French connection with
The
Bilal.
ball,
Yeah,
and then Wemby will come too in a few years,
exactly. And then there you go.
and then this
Resign
year's
Kuzma, resign Tyus. We're
oh, no, no, in
unstoppable.
this year's draft we could draft Alex Sarr or Zachary Richard. All the French guys. Signed Rudy Gobert. Any other Evan Fournier. Get every French guy on this team. Like if you get the all French roster, it ain't a bad team.
And there you go.
That's the
Championship
rebuild.
coming our way. GM Sully is back again.
French GM Sully is back. The French invasion's real though. There are so many French prospects recently coming into the NBA. It's kind of crazy. I feel like as soon as Wemby hit the map, like French basketball, like the Mets '92, all them teams, PSG's basketball team, like all their players have definitely become draft prospects now.
And I'm happy they're getting their chances to play in the NBA. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, definitely international ball has gotten bigger this year, or not even in recent years, and yeah, it'll continue to get bigger. So yeah, NBA is a worldwide sport. It's cool to see. But yeah. Anything else to talk about Gafford, the team, France?
Nothing I got for today's episode.
You know what I want now after talking about France?
A baguette.
I was gonna say an eclair, but a baguette also sounds good.
Oh
Yeah,
man, Leclerc sounds so good right now.
yeah. So yeah, that's my advice to all you Wizards fans. If tonight's game is making you a bit sad, go eat an eclair. Go eat a creme brulee. Like Bilal is
Or
our
a crepe.
or a crepe. Yeah, Bilal is our French future. So enjoy some French delicacies while you're at it. Maybe some if you're feeling really crazy, like some like fried pigeon or something.
I mean, I got some nice little French food in DC, so go ahead. I mean, there's this little crepe spot that me and Sully went to when we after the Wizards Knicks game. That was a
Yeah,
really good place. So
yeah.
go out and have fun.
There's some spots in Chinatown, Gallery Place, of course Georgetown, or even around the DMV. La Madeleine's a nice little place up in Northern Virginia for some French breakfast or French desserts. But hey, I don't know what this became a French pastry podcast, but yeah, I appreciate it. This is a very honestly a more negative episode. So if we could end it on French food on a basketball podcast, then I'll take it.
Yeah, French food for life.
All right, you think? I think that's a wrap for today's episode. How do you feel? Like I support any last Gafford words?
I love you, landlord. I love
Yes.
you. I'll miss you. I'll see you
Long
on Monday.
long live Long live the landlord in DC. And I don't know. R.I.P. the Wizard's bed too, man. Gafford was a supporter of sleeping in the Wizard's bed.
We hitting the wizard bed tonight, baby. Let's get it, Gafford out.
Yes, but even though Gafford never really was a shooter, as always, we send you off to the weekend and we end this episode. We want to remind you to just keep on get your form up, get your Gafford shot up. Gafford had a weird like low form kind of.
I've
All
never
right.
seen him like actually like have a jumper,
No,
so
he shot mid-range shots and it was kind of just like from his like forehead. It was like I don't know.
a little bit.
Yeah. All right. You ready? Keep
Yep.
on shooting those
Hitting. I mean,
those
shooting those
those
DC
DC threes.
threes.
All right. Love y'all. See ya.
Love y'all.
All right.